Kayqubad I or Alâeddin Keykubad bin Kaykāvūs. Persian. Turkish. I. Alâeddin Keykubad, 1188–1237, was the Seljuq Sultan of Rûm who reigned from 1220 to 1237. He expanded the borders of the Sultanate at the expense of his neighbors, particularly the Mengujek Beylik and the Ayyubids, and established a Seljuq presence on the Mediterranean with his acquisition of the port of Kalon Oros, later renamed Alâeddin in his honor. He also brought the southern Crimea under Turkish control for a brief period as a result of a raid against the Black Sea port of Sudak. The Sultan, sometimes styled Kayqubad the Great, is remembered today for his rich architectural legacy and the brilliant court culture that flourished under his reign. Kayqubad's reign represented the apogee of Seljuk power and influence in Anatolia, and Kayqubad himself was considered the most illustrious prince of the dynasty. In the period following the mid-13th century Mongol invasion, inhabitants of Anatolia frequently looked back on his reign as a golden age, while the new rulers of the Anatolian beyliks sought to justify their own authority through pedigrees traced to him. Biography. Kayqubad was the second son of Sultan Kayqubad I, who bestowed upon him at an early age the title Malik and the governorship of the important central Anatolian town of Tokat. When the Sultan died following the Battle of Alâeddin in 1211, both Kayqubad and his elder brother Kaykaus struggled for the throne. Kayqubad initially garnered some allies among the neighbors of the Sultanate. Leo I, the king of Cilicia and Armenia, and Tufril Shah, the brother's uncle and the independent ruler of Erzurum. Most of the emirs, as the powerful landed aristocracy of the Sultanate, supported Kaykaus. Kayqubad was forced to flee to the fortress at Ankara, where he sought aid from the Turkmen tribes of Kastamonu. He was soon apprehended and imprisoned by his brother in a fortress in western Anatolia. Upon Kaykaus' unexpected death in 1219 or 1220, Kayqubad, released from captivity, succeeded to the throne of the Sultanate. In 1227–1228, Kayqubad advanced into Anatolia, where the arrival of Jalal ad-Din Mingburnu, who was fleeing the destruction of his Khwarezmian empire by the Mongols, had created an unstable political situation. The Sultan settled Turkomans along the Taurus Mountains frontier, in a region later called Isel. At the end of the 13th century, these Turkomans established the Karamanids. The Sultan defeated the Turkids and the Ayyubids and absorbed the Mengujek Emirate into the Sultanate, capturing the fortresses of Hisn Mansa, Karta, and Semeskazek along his march. He also put down a revolt by the Empire of Trebizond and, although he fell short of capturing their capital, forced the Komnenos dynasty family to renew their pledges of vassalage. At first Kayqubad sought an alliance with his Turkish kinsman Jalal ad-Din Mingburnu against the Mongol threat. The alliance could not be achieved, and afterwards Jalal ad-Din took the important fortress at Arlat. Kayqubad finally defeated him at the Battle of Yasasaman between Sivas and Erzincan in 1230. After his victory, he advanced further east, establishing Seljuk rule over Erzurum, Arlo and the region of Lake Van, formerly part of Ayyubids. The Turkids of Diyarbakir and the Ayyubids of Syria recognized his sovereignty. He also captured a number of fortresses in Georgia, whose queen sued for peace and gave her daughter Tamar in marriage to Kayqubad's son, Kayqubad II. Mindful of the increasing presence and power of the Mongols on the borders of the Sultanate of Rûm, he strengthened the defenses and fortresses in his eastern provinces. He died at an early age in 1237, the last of his line to die in independence. Family. Kayqubad had 3 sons. Kayqubad II, eldest and son of his Armenian wife Hunat Hachan, and Is al-Din and Iukn al-Din, sons of his Ayyubid princess wife Ghazia Khatun. Kayqubad originally had his subjects swear allegiance to his son Is al-Din, but the emirs generally preferred to rally behind the more powerful Kayqubad. With no clear successor, conflict broke out between the various factions upon Kayqubad's death. Architectural and cultural legacy. Kayqubad sponsored a large-scale building campaign across Anatolia. Apart from reconstructing towns and fortresses, he built many mosques, madrasas, caravanserais, bridges and hospitals, many of which are preserved to this day. Besides completing the construction of the Seljuq Palace in Konya, he also built the Kayqubād Palace on the shore of Lake Basahir and Kayqubād Palace near Kayseri. Notes. Limited preview. Peter Malcolm Holt. Anne K. S. Lampton. Bernard Lewis. 1977. The Cambridge History of Islam. ISBN 0-521-29135-6. Cambridge University Press. CS1 maint. Multiple names. Authors list. Link. Cahen. Claude. 1968. Pre-Ottoman Turkey. A General Survey of the Material and Spiritual Culture and History c. 1071-1330. New York. Taplinger. P. Plus. HDL. 2027. Heb. 00871. ISBN 1-59740-456-X. Crane. H. 1993. Notes on Seljuk architectural patronage in 13th century Anatolia. Journal of the Economic and Social History of the Orient. Leiden. Brill. 36. 1. 1-57. DOI. 10.1163 156,852,093 X 00010. ISSN 0022-4995. JSTOR 3,632,470. Peacock. A. C. S. 2006. The Seljuk Campaign against the Crimea and the Expansionist Policy of the Early Reign of Alâeddin Keykûbad. Journal of the Royal Asiatic Society. Cambridge. Cambridge University Press. 16. 02. 133-149. DOI. 10.1017, S13561863060059979. ISSN 1356-1863. Redford. Scott. 1991. The Alâeddin Mosque in Konya reconsidered. Artebus Asii. Zurich. Artebus Asii publishes. 51. 1/2. 54-74. DOI. 10.2307 3,249,676. ISSN 0004-3648. JSTOR 3,249,676. Coins minted during the reign of Kayqubad I.